Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you
Lawin Media Network.
bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with
Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hi, welcome to Be Bold, Why Not? It's our 9th episode. And Atala should be here with me in a little bit. By the way, it's Monday, and of course, we're here to give you a dose of encouragement again. But we're going to get our co-host Atala in a little bit. So hang in there. Anyway, our show is brought to you by, of course, Lawin Media Network, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss our show live, then you can also listen to our podcasts at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a lot of other podcast platforms. And anyways, for our show, we usually have a game that we have on the show, and we're going to encourage our viewers to participate. And can you show the game how it goes?
How to join the game. 1. Watch the live show and listen to the conversations. 2. Watch out for the 2 questions of the day on your screen. 3. Type your answer for each question in the comment box. 4. The first to type in the correct answer for each question wins. Good luck.
Yes, good luck to everyone. I'm looking for Atala too, but she's not here. Anyways, tonight we're going to continue on our topic about the 15 invaluable laws of growth by John Maxwell. And our laws for tonight that we're going to tackle on are going to be laws of reflection, and then we have laws of consistency and laws of environment. As we have been discussing in the previous episodes, we want to help you grow. Oh, anyway, before we go there, we have a Facebook viewer here. She's saying, hi, watching from Houston. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for watching from Houston. Anyways, yeah, the reflection, pretty much it says that we have to learn to pause in order for us to grow. Because if not, then we get so, it's Christian. Anyway, if we don't pause, then we are unable to actually analyze our experiences or the situations that we are in. So pausing is very important because it will help us turn our experiences into insight. We get clarity of our current situations. So it's very important that we learn to pause and think about what we're going through. If we do that, then we are able to grow in a very positive way. As everyone knows, we need to have a little time and space for ourselves, right? So, but before we get into that again, I would like to encourage our viewers to please participate and have your questions. Just put them in our chat, and we'll try our best to answer them. And again, like for example, I as we go through our day, if we don't take time to pause, we get burnt out with the experiences that we have, right? So if we are going through those struggles, it's very important not just to take a pause, but take a deep breath and just try to understand what the situation is. And when we're trying to do that, then we're trying to realize what's going on in our lives, and it gives us a better insight, and it helps us to actually make the most out of our situation. Well, as you know, it's a little bit hard because I'm just by myself. I hope that my partner will be in so soon, because it's been tough. If you're by yourself, we're expected to be here together, but she's been under the weather, so hoping that she'll be able to join me tonight. So anyways, where are we? We're going to go through the different laws. And when we are trying to pause and understand our situation, we have to look at or try to use there are four things, or we call them 4 I's, okay? And the first thing is investigation. So when we try to investigate our situation, we try to pause to find meaning in each experience, right? So when we do that, we try, somebody is calling, but I can't accept. Yeah, so when we try to investigate our current situation, we try to find meaning. So that's one way of using the law of pausing. So when we try to find meaning in our situation, that's when we try to gather the facts, try to pause and listen to the current situation, and just find meaning in whatever you're going through. Because if we don't, we get burnt out. We tend to stop growing if we don't try to find meaning and analyze the situation. So that's very important, investigating our current situation. It's like, for example, those movies that you watch that they have this process of trying to solve a mystery or something. They go through that investigation process. Otherwise, they won't be able to solve the mystery. They won't be able to help whatever, their client that are trying to help find the cause of the situation or the mystery that they're trying to find. So it's the same thing in our situations in life. If we are being stagnant and not growing, we have to find out why. Why are we not growing? So you have to look at the situation. You have to look at what is causing us from not growing. What's stopping us from not growing, right? So that's one thing, is the power of pause. And one step is investigating your situation so that you will find what's going on and how you can move on. So that's one thing. All right. So investigating. Another thing is incubation. It's incubation period where you're growing like the crackpot, right? So it's like it allows our experiences and thoughts to grow to their own full potential. So incubation, it's like viruses. They have a time for incubation, right? They just don't, when you're exposed to viruses. They just don't come out of your, you just don't have the symptoms right away. It takes time for them to grow in your body, something like that. So it's the same thing with our experiences when we're trying to understand why we're not growing, and then we find the reason by investigating first. Then that will be the time to process our thoughts and our feelings. Why are we not growing? Why are we not reaching our full potential? Right? So we give it time. We give ourselves time to process everything. It's also the power of pause. So after you investigate, you go through that incubation period where you tend to realize and process everything, so it will help you grow. So that's the power of another step, which is incubation. And then illumination is something like you try to place value on your experiences and performances. So it's either you give yourself a pat in the back, or you criticize yourself. So now we have to understand or have a light of what's going on. We have to appreciate the little things that we can do, the little things that help us grow. And whatever mistakes that we have done, I mean, it should just be a way for us to try to do better. So we illuminate. We tend to put value in those experiences that we have. We try to help each other understand that despite all the mistakes and your small wins, they all play the same role in your growth as a person. Like, for example, growing up, it wasn't easy at all. It was a hard life, but after the darkness, there's always, or as they say, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So you see that light, that you put value in those experiences that you have, good or bad, there's value. Good or bad, those experiences have helped you become who you are. So we try to illuminate, like we elevate those that help us grow. And then whatever things that have stopped us or that tries to make our growth stagnant, then we try to forget about it, or just have it, help us grow in a better person, no matter what. So another thing is illustration. It's like our experiences, we try to help other people. We share our experiences. So we expand those experiences into teachable lessons. So for example, what we're doing in our show, we try to have our experiences, share our stories to all of you so you can learn from us, because we never know who out there are listening and that they are actually needing those experiences that we have to help them go through or get through a situation that they are experiencing. So the power of pause, even in our daily lives, before we get up in the morning, we try to set the day. We have to set the tone for our day. We have to make it as positive as possible. And that's pausing would help us do that. So again, with the 4 eyes of pausing, right? The power of pause, we try to investigate first. And then, we have another viewer before we go there. Good morning from Manila. Thank you so much for watching. So as I was saying, the power of pause includes, of course, the first step is investigation, right? We try to lay out the things that we're going through and try to kind of classify them and just find out what's really stopping us from our growth. And then the power of incubation. Once we realize what's going on in our lives and we're ready to move on and just get to that process of growing, then we wait. We process our thoughts, we process our feelings, and then we make those thoughts and feelings help us move on. And then, of course, illumination, we put value in our experiences. We add value to those experiences so they can help us grow into better person or individual. And then another comment, Lysel from Dumaguete City. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Um, and then, of course, the power of illustration, where we take our experiences and put them together so that we can help other people to grow with us. And there are some, reflection questions that we actually can help us grow, and some of which they're very pretty straightforward. So how do we assess if we are actually growing and when we are reflecting on our situations? Some of the common questions, one of which is, what is my biggest asset? So ask yourself, what is your biggest asset, right? If you know your biggest asset, then you know your strength. You know how to grow that asset. You know that with that biggest asset that you have, that you can actually make a really good impression out there, and that you can actually help someone also find out their biggest asset. So when you reflect, you just try to think about that. That's one of the questions. All right. So anyway, another question that we can ask ourselves when we're reflecting is, what is my biggest liability? Or it's like saying, what is my biggest weakness? Because our weaknesses sometimes stop us from growing. So we have to understand our inner weakness, or what's stopping you from growing. What is that weakness that you think that you need to work on, that you need to put extra effort to be able to turn that weakness into an asset? So that's another question that you can ask yourself, so you know how to understand and that you can make your reflection moment the most out of it, that you will come to know better who you are when you know your strength, when you know your weakness. Well, we're trying to help you, and it's our goal here in Be Bold, Why Not. That's why we're going to help you with these questions, and we're going to continue with that after our break. So yeah, we'll go for a break for now, right? Hi, welcome back. Okay, I'm still solo. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Atala. So anyway, we'll continue. We'll continue with our reflection questions. We already talked about what is my biggest asset, and what is, my biggest liability. And when you know your biggest asset or your strength, and you know when your biggest weakness or your liability, then through that, you can work through go, going through any adversity. If you know, if your strength is, say for example, if your strength is in creating art, or if you're an artist, then you work more on that. If you're weak in your making your schedules, then you work on that too. So you have to learn yourself so you'll be able to improve it, right? And then another question that you can ask yourself is, what is my highest high? What is the moment in your life when you just felt so good and that you think that you have achieved so much? And if those moments in your life give you positive reinforcement, then keep doing those. What makes you happy? What gives you joy when whatever you're doing? That no matter what that your day is going, if you just think of that, that it turns your day into a positive one. So what is your highest high? Um, to me, for me, I think my family is my highest high, because whatever I'm going through all my life, as long as I know my family are okay, then I'm okay. So because they are the most important, they're my biggest success. That they are the whatever you value, as they say, is where your riches are, right? So to me, it's my family. So that's my biggest high. And then, of course, you can also ask yourself, what is my lowest low? Have you gone through the deepest pit in your life? What is that thing that's giving you or stopping you from being the better version of yourself? Have you been to that moment when you just feel like the world is just against you? And if you have that and you realize how tough it is, then you just surrender and then just say that I can do this. I, I can do this with my strength. I can do this because I have the power and I have the will to get better through the situation, right? So, and then we go through all these motions of our emotions because we are wired to have feelings, right? We go through these different motions in life, and that's normal, and that's perfectly fine. The important thing is whatever we're going through, we know that we can turn bad situations into positive ones. So reflecting on ourselves, reflecting on the moments that we have been victorious, reflecting on the moments that we have experienced failure, reflecting on our emotions, reflecting on our situations, having to pause and just take a breather is helpful in our growth, because we need that. We can't just keep going and going and going in life without pausing, without taking a break, because everything will just take its toll on us, and it can affect our physical health, it can affect our mental health, it can affect our emotional health, so, and it can affect our spiritual health as well. So it's very important that we try to pause in our day, or however you want to do that, that you try to reassess your situation, you try to reassess where we're at in life, we try to reassess where we're at in our growth as individuals. So that's the power of reflection. When we're trying to realize, or we're trying to think of what we can do better to move forward and to get to the next stage. Um, Again, before we continue on the next law, let me just encourage you all again. If you're listening or watching, please participate. And if you have any questions, just try to put them in the chat, and we will answer them. And again, we will have a question for our game tonight. So watch out for the question, all right? And you will win a prize. Now we're going to go to the next law that we're going to... Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We're not asking the question yet because we haven't talked about it. So we're gonna go on that. But anyway, the next law that we're gonna talk about is the law of consistency. And oh man, I have a weakness on this one. Everybody has, right? Nobody's perfect. So the law of consistency, it just mainly or simply says that motivation can get you going, meaning it can start you to do something, right? If you're motivated. But then what's really more important is the discipline, because motivation may get you going, but discipline will keep you going. And that's very important. Um, I can say that I'm not so good at this. I mean, like, consistency is one probably of my weaknesses, because you know how we tend to start things like, oh, we get excited. There's a new trend, or there's a new opportunity, or there's a business, or there's something that gets you really excited and you just jump in, right? But then if you're not seeing any results, you tend to get disappointed and then you fall off. So that's a problem. When we're not consistent in doing things, we tend to not become successful. Because it's very important, when you start something, you have to persevere. You have to be consistent. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. So that's okay. All right, Atala, can you come in, please? I need help here. Come
I
on.
am
I think,
here.
oh, there's,
Hi, how are you? I'm because I'm fine. I first of all,
yeah,
I appreciate
you're
my
finally here. Oh my gosh. I thought I had to do this
yes.
solo. Well, I'm learning.
But
See, everybody,
you were doing great. How are you doing, MJ? First of all, how are you?
I'm good. How about you? I know you've been under the weather. So are you feeling
Yes.
better?
Honestly, yes, but I noticed that my body's still just kind of in the recovery, like you are not at 100%. Yes, but I mean, I'm just trying to just do my best, listen to my body, and just go from there. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, you still sound kind of congested.
I
Oh,
am. I'm still.
yeah.
Honestly, I am. Yes, but it's
Yeah.
what it is. We just sometimes need to pause and just listen to our body, because the body is just a perfect machine, and we need to just be very respectful of that. When
Yeah,
it's
and
told
that,
you time to rest, we should rest.
I know, right? That's what I was just talking about, the power of pausing, right? Like when our body gets overwhelmed with the things that are going on, then we need to take a break. We need to pause. We
And
need
you are
to
so right
reflect.
on you are so right on that. Many times we just keep going, keep going, keep going. We don't even notice, but the body's telling you slow down, slow
Yes.
down. It may be asking you for rest, to eat better, to drink more water, to do exercise. Yes, but we should really, really listening to our body and create a beautiful relationship with him.
Yes, because who's gonna take care of our body if not us, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's absolutely right.
Yeah, so did you have time to reflect? And also when we take that pause, we are actually trying to give, as you said, trying to rejuvenate our system, right? Yeah.
Yes, actually, I really think so. I mean, this year I have time to really, really like slow down and listen to my body like 3 times this year, like ever in my life. And you mentioned something that it makes a lot of sense. I mean, when I'm on these situations, it's like I try to reflect, like the love of reflection, right? We need
Mm-hmm.
to pause. We need to really kind of self-evaluate our lives, ourselves, our habits, our beliefs, because it's so much that we can improve and learn, even though when we don't feel to our 100%. I take that time like for reflection.
Yeah. And me too. I had a time to reflect on the show by myself.
But I think you were doing wonderful.
But it wasn't a moment of silence. I had to try to get in whatever I have in the back burner.
But you know what? It's something else that I'm learning. When circumstances like that happen, because it happened to me one time, I was giving a presentation and I had a beautiful presentation and everything, and something happened with technology. So suddenly I say, I am here. I'm not going to present as I wanted or it was in my mind, but I just decided to talk, communicate with people, and it was amazing. So we have to be able to be ready for whatever it comes, be adaptable, and try to even just do our best according to the circumstances.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, Atala is here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's more fun now. It's more fun to do this with Atala. It's not
Thank you,
so much.
MJ. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yes, I know. So now we finished with the law of reflection, which we kind of extended of talking about it when you came in, because yeah, it's like this past few days probably gave you an opportunity to reflect on things again and assess, your current situation and everything. So, but I'm
Absolutely.
glad,
It
yeah,
really did.
I'm
Yes,
glad you're feeling
definitely.
better. I'm glad you're
Thank you
feeling
so
better.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now we're on the law of consistency, which, we said motivation can get you going, but I mean, yeah, can get you going, but discipline is what keeps you going. So what can you say about that, Latala? Like, how do
I,
you
I
keep your discipline? Because, as I was saying earlier, I think a lot of people can relate to this. We get so excited with so many things, opportunities, or new trends or new technology. We get so excited and we jump in, but then we lose that whenever we realize we're not going anywhere and we don't have the discipline to keep going, then we don't actually succeed. So how do we overcome that?
I think it's very important to not just have a plan, because we can have a plan, but many times we can break them, right? Break it.
Mhm.
But it's about also learning how ourselves, we practice a lot like self-sabotage, right? No
Mhm.
self-discipline. So what I mean by that, sometimes we have to understand our thinking process, our beliefs, because if you think about it, when you are, so eager to start something, you have all this kind of energy, and motivation and all that, but then suddenly your thoughts and your belief system is going to kick in, right?
Mhm.
And it's going to keep going step by step, little by little, and celebrate those little, achievements. You go back to the same area, because we're talking about here two different things here: our conscious and subconscious. And for us to be able to be disciplined, we have to elevate our awareness at the level that say, no matter what, I'm going to be moving. I'm going to do it. Say it and do it. Say it and do it. Say it and do it until you really master that habit in your mind at a conscious level. And it's not easy, because we have a lot of different patterns, you name it. We have been wiring ourselves in many different ways about doing for maybe 1, 2, 3 times, and then the sixth time we go back to the same place. It's an inner
Mhm.
fight.
Mhm.
So I believe about really identify our belief system, about identify when you're feeling like self-sabotage. Sometimes it's at the last minute, you almost get it, and then like, oh my goodness, something that's came into, and we just kind of turn around my direction from my goal. And
Yeah.
also, it's about really setting up your mind in like, again, like, I say this, I'm gonna do it. Even if you write it down, if you say it loud, if you record your voice, your code, I think that's powerful. It helps
Yeah.
you at least to overcome those unlimited, self-beliefs about discipline.
Yeah. And also, as we can actually go back to the law of reflection where we can connect now, right? Because when we are reflecting on ourselves, we try to identify our current situation, and then we can actually identify the things that we want to improve on. Because when we're talking about motivation or law of consistency, it's just trying to identify what are the things that you want to improve on yourself and why do you want to improve, right? And I think one thing that we can do when we are struggling with law of consistency or with the discipline part and something that can keep you going is I think we need to focusing on something that you really want, because if we're scattered all over the place, if we have so many things that we are actually putting in our plate, then we lose that traction, we lose that desire, we lose that motivation to keep going because we don't know where to focus on. We don't know, we're pulled into so many different directions. So a sense of discipline, it's important to keep that if you are focused on one thing and you're focused on,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's like a, like choosing our priorities. I think sometimes our priorities are not really our priorities. We're
Mhm.
focused energy, um, in things that they are not moving us to the next level. So
Mhm.
we create that kind of habits unconsciously once again. But when you start really identify, wow, this is the one that is my top priority and it's not negotiable. The one that's going to move in you, behind you, I mean, it's going to push in you to keep moving forward. It's going to actually confront your fears. It's going to say, you know what, you are able to do it. But also, what is that one thing that is on the top? It could be in your health, it could be in your finances, it could be in your relationships, It could be in a connection with your own self. What is that priority? Not a lot of priorities, little priorities, but the one that will keep you going and that it will allow you to really say like, I did it, and look how many other things I was able to achieve with only focusing on the most important one.
Yes, so focus, priorities, and don't listen to all the noises. Just keep going and keep that discipline, keep that determination, right? Well, before we go on a break, let's ask our question for tonight. So which law actually states that motivation keeps you going? I mean, no, motivation gets you going and discipline keeps you going. So that's the first question. And now we're going to go on a break. See you in a bit, Atala.
What is estate and why do we plan it? What is estate planning?
That is, actually good question. I love that question. What is estate and why do we plan for that? You say essay, we're talking about what comes into your mind.
Mine is like land and property, houses.
Yes, you're right. Assets. That's your estate. That's why when somebody passed away, we settle the estate. That's what we do when we do probate. We settle the estate because the estate is what you left for your loved ones. So while you're alive, you're accumulating this estate. Why we say estate planning? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because mainly the reason why you're doing the planning is you're thinking about what will happen when you pass away, most likely, right?
I
Because
mean, we
that's,
all pass away
I know,
someday.
it's just a matter of when. Hopefully not too soon because we want to enjoy our
Drive safe, eat healthy, go to the gym.
Hi, we're back. I think we have some questions. Let me see here. Oh, actually, I thought, well, we've watched. There's someone saying to watching from Houston. Oh, it was Christian. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. We miss you. You should be here, right?
Don't worry, guys. Next week we're gonna have, we're gonna go back in track. We're all gonna get
Yes,
together.
yes, yes. Because I think we do better when we're together, right?
Definitely. This is the beauty of a team also. Supporting each other, helping each other, and just be there for. I mean,
Yes, yes.
things happen, but it's better when you have a team, behind you that say, come on, let's do this, let's do that. Let me help you to solve this problem. So
Yeah, I know something that can actually impede or stop our productivity or being consistent is like procrastination. What can you say about it? I think I tend to procrastinate. So, because I remember
Well,
when I was a student, when I was a student, I'm not kidding. Like I would wait last minute to like turn in my work or even to study. But I don't know why I just work better under pressure, but that's not an excuse because it's like
I,
waiting. Yeah.
I believe that it happened two things here. One is like it's a habit, right? We
Uh-huh.
create those habits. Again,
Uh-huh.
we want ourselves. And I think sometimes, honestly, I do also procrastinate, but I'm pretty much like things come out like ideas. I'm start really rewriting a lot of ideas at the last minute. But I understand also it could be a habit. I don't do it for everything. But for example, there are some times that I'm trying to really, again, self-reflection. How can I do better? Instead to just kind of wait for this, to create this webinar, I can do it 1 week before, 2 weeks
Mhm.
before, right? Instead of doing like 3 days before or 2 days before, because I know I can do that. You become so like eagle say, no worries, you can do it. Yes, but what about now? Invite our own selves to say, let's try to go different route. Let's try to be more prepared for that and see how your body will react, how your mind will respond. So I think procrastination has also his positive side when we're able to do great things at the very last minute, right? But guess what? We're also creating cortisol at that moment. A lot of
Mhm.
stress is going on in ourselves, and that also can take away energy from us.
Yes, that's right. So, but sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's not. As you said,
That's
there are
right.
good, but yeah, because when there's another viewer, Shell the Seco. She's saying hello, MJ and Atala, watching from the
Hello.
Philippines. Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Shell.
connecting with us.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, she was the winner in our last game last week. So congratulations again, Shell, for winning. And I think you already got your prize. Thank you for participating in our show every time. Thank you so much. Anyway, yeah, procrastination is so a lot of people are guilty of that. And as you said, sometimes it works because your adrenaline is more when you're like, right, when you're under pressure, but
Yes,
also
it's like a good
yes,
body, you know.
yeah, you gotta get that done right now at this moment, right? So anyway, we're gonna repeat our question for tonight. Which law states motivation gets you going and discipline keeps you going? That's a very easy question. So for those of you who are watching, just type in your answer in the chat and we will announce our winner later. So yeah, and then of course, um, waiting is like it's just an excuse. So being consistent is actually not just about discipline, but actually being productive, right? Because that's the product of being consistent is like you're actually getting into something, you're getting something done, you're achieving the goal and you go beyond achieving the goal. Even when you already have achieved the goal, you still continue to grow. You still continue to work for whatever you want to achieve in life, right?
And I
So,
think it's like that develop a muscle, like
mhm,
when we're start exercising, going to the gym, and then you don't see any changes, and suddenly you see that your body's changing completely, but you're not changing your body physically. You're changing your mindset. So
mhm.
that's a very different thing. When we try to change a habit like no procrastination or discipline, for example, it's really about more like a mindset skill that we need to develop, and it has to take place at a conscious level once again, because whatever we're doing, we're in the subconscious, so it's very easy to break our own rules very easily. Self-sabotage, inner dialogue, criticism, all of these take away. They're like a minus and plus. They are totally in the minus column. So I believe it's more about self-discovery, self-reflection, and it's a very inner work that is available to all of us, but not everybody want to take advantage of.
Yeah, and that's the power of consistency too, is as you said, It's like building a muscle. And we have memory muscle in everything that we do. So you like habit. They say, right, it takes 21 days to develop a good habit. And yeah, and it takes that long also to develop a bad habit. And the I don't know, but it's so hard because it's hard to break a bad habit, right? So it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline. So it's really important that we have to follow the law of consistency for us to be able to continue to grow. Because otherwise, if we don't reflect on the things that we are currently having in our lives, if we don't reflect on what our strengths and weaknesses are and what the things that we want to improve on ourselves, if we don't reflect on those things that can actually make our situation better and can give us growth and in a very positive way, if we don't try to be consistent with our actions, then we're stopping to become the better person that we are. We're actually slowing our growth. But if we try to do those things and follow these different laws that we are actually trying to help you with, then we are going to help ourselves flourish. We're going to grow
Yeah.
beyond our expectations.
I
Yeah.
wanted to share something with you, MJ. I think that one of the simple ways to really kind of start improving in this area is do a list, but not a huge list of a lot of different activities. Again, prioritize. That's meaning you say, I'm going to start working out every week. Start with maybe 3 times a week, maybe for 20 minutes, maybe for 15 minutes. If you never work out in your life, don't expect that your mind and your body are going to respond to where I'm going to start working 5 times a day for 1 hour. That's an inner fight. And you're not going to feel successful if you don't achieve your goal. But when you start set up little goals, and you achieve that goal over and over, you're going to feel like, wow, I accomplished something huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start empowering yourself. And then you start really motivating more and more yourself. But also your mindset again, start changing. So it's becoming more easy for you to achieve your goal and have more self-discipline.
That's right. Yeah, it's like you build up on it. You just don't suddenly lift 120-pound barbell, right? You try to, as Atala had said, you try to build up on it. And if you do that and you feel the power of positive reinforcement because you are actually achieving the little goals that you're setting yourself to do, then you build that sense of accomplishment, and then your discipline just continues, and then you're just going to be determined to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal and to grow. Anyway, we're going to go on a quick break again before we get to the final law of the night that we're going to be talking when we come back after a break.
Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with
Lawin Media Network.
Welcome back again, Atala.
Time to fly,
I know.
Unbelievable.
It does. It flies faster when there's two of us. But
No, but I'm talking about time in general, MJ.
Okay.
Come on, we're almost like a few months away from Christmas. And sometimes I say to myself, we need to pause more. We need to embrace more the present moment because it flies. Create
That's
more
right.
important memories in life, memories that keep you going and make you happier.
I know, right? Me too. I can't believe it's like, wow, October, and then it's like Thanksgiving, and then it'll be Christmas, the best
Amazing.
time of the year. Right? So we're going to talk about now about the
The
law
love
of
environment.
environment. Yes. So The law of environment pretty much says that you grow more if the environment you're in is conducive or supportive to your growth, right? Because sometimes, say for example, if you're in a job where you feel like you're not supported, you're not, like, your leaders are not listening to you, and that you're dragging to go to work and you're not excited anymore, and you're just like, you can't go on doing like that, because that is detrimental, not just to your growth, but it can also be detrimental to your health because it gives you a lot of stress. Then that's not good for you, right? So the law of environment is pretty much saying that try to analyze your current situation if it's still helping you to grow, if people you are with are still supportive of you, if the leaders in the company are like, they have this open, um, giving you the opportunities, right, to grow and help you or give you chances to actually make improvements, right? Or if they
Yeah,
are, yeah.
I think it's really like about selecting. Be selective, with your people that you are around, with the places that you go frequently, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get influence from those people. You're gonna
Mhm.
get energy from conversations, from places, different environments. And it's very important to be selective, because you're going to resonate more maybe with people who are involved maybe in sports, or maybe with people that are involved in business, maybe with people that are more family oriented. That doesn't mean that you cannot have a mix of friendship, connections, but it's very important to also create some kind of evaluation of how you're spending your time. What are the people that is around you? What are the
Mhm.
conversations that you are having constantly? I have people that sometimes in coaching sessions, they felt so frustrated and anger and all those things because they always are in conversations that take away their energy, their focus, their productivity, but also they are moving in a very low energy. So think about it, how you're spending your time, which places are you going frequently once again, and just reflect on that. You can always change them,
That's
right?
right. Because as they say, yeah, if you want to become successful, you have to mingle or interact with successful people, right? If you want to, you don't want to grow, then you just stay with the toxic people in your life. Sometimes, yeah, it's harsh, but they say that, you have to get rid. That's what they say. You have to get rid of the toxic people in your life. Or you can be around them, but be the positive change. Don't be the person that they influence to become toxic as well. So it's they say, like, you can change yourself, but if you don't change your environment, your growth is slow, right? Or if you don't change yourself and you change your environment, your growth is still slow because you have to change yourself and your environment so you can grow faster. You can grow quicker because your environment is supportive of what you're trying to do,
And
right?
sometimes too,
Mhm.
you need to challenge yourself, because maybe you have been very good in related with certain kind of communities, associations. So sometimes you have to find yourself, right? Try another maybe a group of people that you have never even be interested. Like I was just thinking to myself, saying, I need to be part of this kind of international speaking association. So I'm gonna try to look into and just go forward because that's one of the things that I'm interested in, learn about other speakers and international, all those things. So sometimes you have to go beyond that, use your visualization, use your connections, but be very, very clear on what do you want to do in life next.
Mhm.
Clarity gives you direction also.
Yes, yes. And that's why the environment is very important because there are some people out there who don't want you to grow, or you're not even successful yet, but they're already pulling you down. So you don't need to be around those people. So that's why you have to get with more positive people who are going to actually support you, cheer you on, and give you encouragement and all that, so you can achieve, or you can do what you want to do, right, Atala? I mean, I think everyone has that kind of experience. And in the workplace, sometimes if you've been to a company for too long, you feel like you have achieved the whatever, you're at the cap of your abilities, but you try to get out of the organization, not because you don't like the organization, but because you want to grow, you want to be challenged. And that's
And it's okay in that aspect. So that's what I was mentioning a few minutes ago. Yes, you have to be brave in life. You have to look for what really, really is moving you, what your heart is telling you, what is your vision, your passion, your purpose. And you have to really say yes to yourself. First of all, more than anybody else, say yes to yourself. Once that you say yes, things start coming into your life. You start becoming more disciplined, more focused, more kind of goal-oriented, because you know where you're going. Even though you don't know everything, but at least you have a vision. And then you can also start manifesting things in your life. So I think that's like a combination of laws maybe, but it is important. Choose your environment, your conversations, the people that you are, spending your time, and the places.
Yes. And important, yeah, you have to move forward despite criticisms, right? It's like, if you try to let those criticisms push or bring you down, then you're not going to grow. You're just going to be there, like stagnant. You can't go anywhere. You're afraid, you're scared. But no, don't be scared. Don't be like, don't listen to those people that are trying to pull you down. So you have to move forward despite any criticism. So that's very important in the law of the environment, because there's always going to be people around there. You cannot please everyone. Not everybody will be happy for your success, because some people are wired to be, or they don't want other people to be successful. That's just how some people are. But move on, move forward, no matter what the environment is telling you, just move on. Okay. And again, I want to repeat our question, because we're almost at the end of the show. So we want to repeat our question. We haven't had one that actually gave an answer. For those of you who are watching and listening, which law states motivation gets you going and discipline keeps you going? If you know the answer, make sure you put it in the chat so we can recognize you, and we will send you a simple gift. It's just a simple gift, a token of appreciation for participating in our show. So
I have a
Atala,
question for you, MJ. What is, from the three laws today, which is the one that is a challenge for you?
I think now you know my weakness, right? I think it's the law of consistency. And I think it's because I am doing so many things. So I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, and that's stopping me from actually moving forward, because I'm pulled into so many different directions. I don't have just one main thing that I'm focusing on. So that's been a challenge for me, and I'm working on it. I'm like, I've been trying to just not listen to all the noises or whatever I see. You know how they say you are like attracted by all the shiny things? I think I have that syndrome sometimes.
No, you know what happened? I think sometimes when a person has a lot of talents and gifts,
Hmm.
it's very easy to you know uh, not just practice, do a lot of things, and sometimes say, where is my main goal?
Yes.
Where I have achieved. You have achieved a lot of things, but sometimes you cannot see the whole thing because all the energy is spreading out in different
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's why you need, if you only focus on one thing, like as I was talking to you about, what do you think is the best motivation for you, is like try to find your biggest or your strongest, desire, and what's that and then focus on that, because if you do that, then you will explode. Like you can actually, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
can run like a,
Or
like a,
put your emphasis in what is kind of linking all your talents. Like sometimes we have seriously people who are very brilliant, very creative, has a lot of talents, and you can design and you can speak and you can create this and that. But sometimes that creativity is applying many different things. But when you start really embracing, what are those where it comes easier naturally? Those talents are just there. You don't have to work so hard. You can practice, and when you practice more and more, you become an expert. But once that it comes naturally and you identify those talents, you become really like a master. So it's very important getting to know ourselves, our talents, our gifts, our strengths, of course. I mean, just and say yes again to yourself.
that's right. Yeah, listen to yourself, because you know yourself the most, right? And yeah, don't be like a jack of all trades, master of none.
It's evolution. It's a learning experience.
It is. That's why we're here. We're all here to learn. We're not perfect. We're sharing all this, but it doesn't mean that we are the best or we are perfect in everything. No, we're not. We're all here to grow together. That's why we are trying to share with you this material, because we want to grow with you. Actually, we have a winner. Lysel Lissandra, law of consistency. That is correct.
Well, I would like to ask her a question, what she has learned so far. Oh, I mean, any aha moment. I would love to hear from her. She has been very disciplined, you are actually applying the love of discipline.
Yes, yes. Yeah, maybe Lysel, you can, you can let us know next time what you have learned so far. That's what Atal is saying. But anyway, yeah, so tonight we'll just recap of what we had talked about. We talked about the law of reflection. So take a moment, listen to yourself, analyze your situation, find out your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, your anything. Just have that. Like, it's like a self-evaluation, a self-review or self-assessment. And
And
then
also
once,
listen to your body. Remember, that's very important. Listen to your body and honor your body as well.
yes, yes, that's right. So we have that, and then reflection. Once you know about yourself, you already know what you really want, what your goals in life and everything. Then we go to the law of consistency. Because now that you know and you have a dream, you have figured out yourself, then you have to move forward. Then it gets you motivated. It gets you going. So now you got to focus on your goal, and you go beyond just when you achieve your goal, you don't stop from there. You continue growing. So that's consistency, the discipline, the motivation, they all go together. And once you find that, then make sure you are in a great environment that is supportive
And
of your
surrounded
growth.
with good people. Yes.
Yes, yes. So if you are in a conducive environment, you've found that perfect situation that can actually help you move on despite any criticisms, then you will grow. You will never, it's like you can never imagine how much growth you can actually achieve. Now you will be
I think
able to,
actually it's a decision that you mentioned, because we can decide at any moment to break our own limited beliefs and go forward for a real growth. It's a choice. And once that you start embracing the growth process, it's amazing. You can see that you can grow in many areas of your life. Once a person decides to grow as a person, even though it sounds kind of redundant, you're gonna see life with different Lies for sure.
perspective. Yes.
Yeah, and it will affect you positively in every single area of your life. And you will have this kind of domino side effect, positive domino side effect, I would say, in your families, in your friends, with your co-workers, in your business, with your partners, business partners, you name it.
That's right. Well, Lysel actually, she says, my aha moment. Let's put it on the screen. It is it's very good. Yeah, she said, okay, her aha moment is you have to move forward despite criticism. You have to move forward. Yes, that's true.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. That's true to everyone. That's true to me too. Because as I said earlier, no, you cannot please everyone. So, but it doesn't matter if you have decided to yourself that you're gonna move forward. No matter what the odds are, you're gonna keep going. So I think we have come, actually, we went over, but it's good because I'm now enjoying it more because you are here, Atala. It just makes the time fly. But
I love that sharing, about the feedback, about listening to you also. You are a very wise woman with a big heart. And I think that's come across very naturally. I think conversations like this just enrich your soul, putting it that way. It's like just sharing from your heart what is important and to add really value to people through our experiences, even our mistakes, because at the end of the day, we're here all to grow together.
that's right. That's right. We're here to grow with you. So again, thank you so much, Atala, for
You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone. And
oh
thank you
wait, yeah. If you
for
want to
receiving us also.
yeah, that's right. If you want to connect with us, again, if you want to learn more about the material that we are sharing with you in this series, you can email me at mjversosac@gmail.com, and you can also find me on Instagram, Nurse MJ for you. And for Atala,
Yes, you can also email me at atalatobar.com, or you can also send me a message through Instagram, and you can find me as Atala Coach, and also LinkedIn as Atala Tobar.
yes, yes. We would love to have this conversation in like live, right? With everybody. We are inviting everyone. If you all have any suggestion, if you want us to get this, in a more like a seminar type thing, we'd love to do that eventually. But again, we're going to continue on discussing the different laws, the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And we will see you again on Monday. And thank you so much for tuning in. We love for you to continue participating in our show, and we hope to improve on how we deliver, how we discuss this. So if you have any questions, suggestions, or any comments, feedback, please feel free to send us, because that's the only way we're going to know what we need to improve on. Okay? We need your help. We need your feedback. And we thank you so much. Right, Atala?
Thank you. Thank you so much, MJ. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we're going to be looking forward to just kind of not just deliver the lows, but deliver our best with love,
Yes.
especially. And until then, we see you next week.
Yes. God bless everyone. And good night, Atala.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.